Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver, welcome to World of Horror. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really remember what we did yesterday. I'm pretty sure we played Kairi, but we also might have played Mimi. We're gonna play Kouji, because why not? So, today, we're gonna be doing Kouji, Hunted by the Cult, Harbinger of Doom. Who would have guessed? Harbinger of Doom. I honestly, we haven't done much Harbinger of Doom. I feel like we should do it maybe a little bit more often. And of course, we're gonna hashtag burn the world. What's the song? Set the world ablaze. That's a good one. I think I first heard of it not from the game, but from the absolutely cursed, like, May 2021 video, the Gary's Mod one. If you know, you know. So let's see what we got here. We've got dexterity. I probably need to move the microphone a little bit closer, but actually, you know, I think it's fine. I can just bump it up post if I'm too quiet. But second enemy, second mystery, right at the end. It's a little sketchy, but you know, it is. We do a little mild concern as a treat. So, you know, I've been thinking about it. I've been having a lot of nostalgia for depth recently. And I think it might be fun to, like, maybe jump back into it at some point, just to play it for fun. And, we'll just go with the classic Kouji. We don't use that very often. And yeah, I thought it might be fun to play it, and I might do a video, who knows. But we do a mild amount of nostalgia as a mere treat. Anyways, we're being a little spicy here. I do realize that. That was Moriko, right? I saw a circle, but I don't know if it was like this circle or if it was the Moriko circle. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure it was the Moriko circle, but I wasn't paying attention. Let's just get Moriko real quick. So, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV recently. I'm in Stormblood, and honestly, Stormblood's been kind of hit or miss. Like, I think the story, like, overall, I think the writing has gotten a lot better, and the side quests have gotten a lot more interesting. However, I feel that the story's been kind of like, yeah, that's pretty good, and that part's like, not so good. I really liked the, what's it called, the Azim Steppes, as they were. Thought that was a really cool area, had a lot of fun. Did a lot of side quests there, too. Like, not unlockable, like, not unlocking side quests for, like, unlockables. I mean, just, like, regular side quests, because I found the area interesting. I wasn't a big fan of the sun dragons, as they were. There we go. That took a little bit longer than it probably should have. For an outdoorsman perk we're probably not gonna get, but you might as well do it. It's literally free. But yeah, you know, it's that's interesting. I used to think it did nothing, but now we know the truth. It buffs Stalker Girl, which in some cases can be really bad because she's a vampire and she can heal, and so her doing more damage. It doesn't increase her healing, not to my knowledge, but a 5 damage Stalker Girl is rather terrifying, and we have witnessed it before. But yeah, you know, I think that in some aspects, the, I think in some aspects, like, I mean, I think generally the writing has just gotten a lot better. Like, I already said that, but yeah, no, the writing has definitely gotten a lot better, and a lot more engaging, to the point where I'm actually just doing side quests for fun in an MMO. That's, rather frightening. I'm also massively over-leveled. I haven't beat Stormblood yet, like, on MSQ, I'm on, like, level 68. I'm, like, I'm almost level 74. Like, if I kept playing, like, if I did not stop to record this video, I would be at level 74 right now. Like, that's how close I am to level 74. So, yeah, I'm basically, like, for reference, the level cap for Stormblood is 70, and the level cap for the current content, Shadowbringers, is 80. So, like, literally speaking... Yo, you just want to grab a compass for fun? That's a camera. That's also a camera. I want a compass. I know they both start with the same letter, but they hold two entirely different functions, I assure you. I just thought of those stupid Doge memes, because we're dealing with, like, a Shiba Inu, and it's like, yes, Kouji, I assure you. I can't even finish it, but it's like, yes, Kouji, taking off your shoes will surely help us find the compass faster. It's imperative, I assure you. But, no, it's, you know, what was I even saying? I can't believe I've done this to myself, even. But, no, it's like, yeah, I thought that, yeah, I'm massively overleveled. So, I'm, like, almost halfway through the level cap of Shadowbringers, and I haven't even gotten to the patches yet in between them. So, yeah. We do a little over-leveling. Not as a treat, but as a being engaged in the gameplay and the story. I really... One of my favorite quest lines was the... And this is kind of a spoiler, because you have to do the first one if you want to fly in the Azim Steppe, but most people probably don't help out the... Like, most people probably just do the first quest to get the flight path, or the flight thingy, and then they go into it. Like, they just do the first quest to get the bonus, and then they don't do the quest chain. Because there's no reason to do the quest chain. Like, it's literally just for fun. Because, you know, you're already going to be over-leveled at that point anyways. It's going to contribute to you being more over-leveled, but it's not efficient for time or anything. So it's literally just something you do for fun in the current game. But, you know, it's basically, there's this guy who, he's this dragon, and he's a part of the Sun Tribe, and he's like a middle-aged dude. He's like 40 years old. And he's this dragon who's just... His tribe is all about, like, fighting and being as strong as possible. And if you're not as strong as possible, then you're a weakling who needs to be made fun of. But he's also, like, the only chef that they have. And so the entire quest line for him is basically just being like, hey, you know, he basically needs your help to take over his cooking duties, so that he can actually go and train, so that he can try to get stronger. But the thing is, Michael Rosen voice, always knew you were a bit weak, and so he can't, like, even though he trains... by the way, I'm considering... I don't want to do Coma, because we're low on reason. We could do Mermaids and then Cure the Burn later. Yeah, we'll do that. But, yeah, you know, it's like... Yeah, he's a frail boy. Do not bully him. And with it, you know, he's trying to train, but he can't really do it. But what he's good at is cooking. And so, like, you know where the stereotypical story's going here. Like, they don't try to do anything more with it than it is. Right? Like, it's a story about, like, learning to accept your weaknesses and to be okay with your strengths, even if your strengths aren't recognized by other people. You know, it's a story that a lot of people have probably heard before, but they tell it in a really good way. And the writing is really good. And, you know, there's this orphan kid who's like, hey, you know, you're a really good chef, and your food's really good. And, I mean, I'm not doing it justice at all, but it's a very sweet quest line. And it gives, like, a new sort of... We don't have to go to the forest, like, at all. So I don't really care about that. But it gives a new perspective on the Sun Tribe for the dragons, because, like, when you first meet them, they're... Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate, but that's actually fine. Like, when you first meet them, they're, like, really rude. You know, they don't really... They're just incredibly rude. They hate you. And they're basically like, pick seaweed for us or die. And because you're trying to learn about them, you're like, okay, fine, I'll pick seaweed for you, right? But do we want to do... No, we definitely just want to make sure that she dies next turn. And if we have to go into desperation range to make that happen, so be it. But, yeah. It's like... You get to see them from a completely different perspective that you don't get to... You don't get to see them from. And you kind of see that, like, not all the sun dragons are, like, so obsessed with war. Like, some just like vibing and helping out their tribe. And I think that's cool. Because you don't really expect it. You know, you think, like, okay, you're gonna meet this tribe for, like, 3 or 4 quests, and then you're never gonna see them again, except, like, in a cutscene later on. And it's not gonna really be important. But you go through it, and it's like, hey, you know, there's this guy who he likes cooking, and that's cool. And he ends up... And if you do the quest line, you end up getting a lot... end up getting food, so that's pretty dope as well. And I feel like that... I mean, again, I'm not really doing it justice. It's a very good quest line, and I enjoyed it. And there's a bunch of those, right? They do a neat thing where basically you have these quests that if you want to fly in the area, you have to get these aether currents. And some aether currents you find in the world, and other aether currents you find just kind of like... We should have gotten reason there, by the way, because we have this, but... And also, we have the tree as well. But yeah, you just kind of find the aether currents. I haven't been paying attention to the second enemy at all, but the second mystery, now that was mermaids. Second enemy, we'll just guess. If I had to say, it would probably be... Wait, actually, would it be Aspiring Model? Because the first enemy we fought was Twisted... No, the first enemy we fought was Twisted Ghost. And then it was like the formaldehyde jar, right? Yeah. So it was the... I'll just write formaldehyde jar. Or jar. Just as interim, because what else would it literally mean? But, anyways. I've been liking it a lot. So what they do is that in order to get the aether current fragment, you either have to find it in the world, some of them, a lot of them, or you have to do a side quest for it, or you have to do a main story quest for it. And so basically the quests gate it off to where you can't gain flying immediately, and then the ones that you find in the world are just so that you can, like, explore the place and, like, go to all the areas and have fun doing that. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do this one. But, yeah, so it's kind of interesting how they do that. And what they do for Stormblood, they don't really do it for Heavensward. I don't think they do, or at least I never noticed it. But for Heavensward, for Stormblood, in order to get the fragments, the aether fragments, you have to start a quest chain, and then that's it. Like, you start the quest chain, and that will go on for, like, maybe 4 or 5 quests. And it'll give you really good rewards that you don't need, because the game is very generous with EXP. So, a lot of people would probably just say it's better to, like, come back later with like, a different character, or, like, with a different class to level that instead. Because they do give a lot of EXP. But for me, I was doing it for the story, and there's also, like, I don't know, like 50 or 80 quests in that area, so yeah, sure, I do maybe like a couple of quest chains, but I got plenty for other things to do. And the game gives you a lot of ways to grind. Like, that's something that I was very surprised about, is there's a lot of ways to level up, and there's a lot of ways to get experience. And if you're trying to do, like, a gatherer, or, like, a craft... Well, a gatherer specifically. I have a friend who... They just started trying to be, like, a miner. And they started at, like, level 20. And they got all the way up to, like, level... They're almost to level 80, which is the level cap. So, I think that... and they're doing it through a special system. And they've done it through, like, a couple of days, right? Or, like, maybe a few days. And they've been doing it through the diadem, which is like a special area for those jobs to hang out in. And I think I like that a lot. You know, where it's like, it's grindy, but I've played games that are more grindy than Final Fantasy XIV. Like, even I've been leveling up Warrior as my second job, because White Mage is my main, and I want to be able to tank. Let's see. I don't like any of these things, but we might as well take improvise for when we throw the lucky earrings, inevitably. But, yeah, it's like, like, even leveling up warrior, like, I've barely been doing it, and I've just been doing it as, like, a on and off thing that I, like, randomly care about. And that's been getting me, like, I'm almost level 40, which the level cap of the vanilla game is 60. So I've been making really good progress, and I've barely been trying to do it. And so I think that's really cool. I really like that. The fact that, like, it's grindy as hell, don't get me wrong, but I have played games that are much, much, much worse on the grind. So hey, you know what I just said for when we throw that? Yeah. I mean, we could still die here, and that'd be pretty tragic, but, like, 97% times 3, like, come on. You'd have to be pretty unlucky for that. And I was willing to roll the dice. But yeah, no, I really like that, because it's like, you can play every job, because it's like, you start as a class, and then you go into a job. You can play every job as a single character, although it is technically faster to just start a new character and then go through the main story quest if you want to try, like, a job out. I've been thinking about doing that, but I mean, I'm just playing on my main character for now, because I mean, I want to make, like, I want to get to Shadowbringers. I want to get to, like, the beginning of Shadowbringers, hopefully by, like, the end of this month. Because when I think I've mentioned it dozens of times already, so there's no reason to relitigate it, not necessarily, but this is actually a boss fight. Yeah, we'll do it last. Is that, like, I am gonna be traveling soon, aka at the end of the month, and I'm gonna need I mean, obviously, like, this is unrelated to the story, but I'm gonna get a video backlog. And, you know, if Panstash updates the game during that video backlog, like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. But when I get set up in the new place, I'll get back to recording. And if there's an update by then, so... Man, that would be absolutely tragic, wouldn't it? Like, Panstash... By the time... Credit to... like, the name is easy to pronounce, but I feel like I'm gonna mess it up anyways. Cthulhu? Like, Uwu, but Cthulhu. They posted on the World of Horror General, basically, like, the update history and the days between the updates. And so basically, by the time you're watching this should be, like, assuming that Panstash doesn't drop an update, magically, right? But let's not. Like, I don't want to entertain a false dream or hope. But by the time you watch this, if you're watching this on, like, the day of, then... This sucks, by the way. I hate this. You know what? You know what, dude? Get me out of here. I'm not fighting that. So we need to discard 2 items. Now, we're gonna discard probably the compass and the library notes. I would actually take the Sphinx here. I'll take the 5% Doom. That's fine. Oh yeah, we have Burn. Kind of forgot about that, admittedly. It didn't really matter, did it? Like, even if Miku was doing 4 damage, we'd still be a little bit suspicious of what was going on there. So, do we want to take... Actually, let's go to the monument a couple times, honestly. Yeah, we'll go to the monument, like, once here. We would take... I guess Jar of Blood would be fine, but... we do a little... We're badly bruised, so that's why we have 7 strength. But they basically posted the time between the updates and the update history. And so by the time you're watching this, assuming the game continues to not be updated, this should be day 221 since the beginning of the never-ending winter. So that's kind of rough. But, like, if the never-ending winter ends while I'm on the video backlog, it's like, I'm sorry, there's not much I can do about that. Like, the moment I can get set up, I will get set up, and we'll bring it back, but, like, you know... Do I want to potentially... We have the lump of flesh, so we can, like, miss one of these if we absolutely have to. But we're not going to miss it at all, because we're really good at the video game. And by really good at the video game, I mean just lucky. Okay, Jar of Blood, Fondest Memory, Peace of Mind. I can't do Peace of Mind. So we'll do Jar of Blood, because we have a lump of flesh. And then we will take Quick Thinking and Dexterity? Hold on, so, like... Yeah, we get Dexterity up to 7, and then we level up again, and then we get one of these up to 8. I don't know if I like that at all. But sure, why not? So we need to discard a couple items, but we'll do that once it's an organizing fishing trip, because we want to discard the compass. Focus on the officers, that's perception. -2 reason, loses stamina. Okay, so discard the compass, and then discard the library. Actually, you want to use the library notes once? Shouldn't have done that. Never should have done that. But we're back again. So, do we risk dying just so that we... Actually, hold on. We have the lump of flesh, but not stamina, please. All right. Had to do me like this. Bloated does nothing. Who cares? I actually... Maybe it does do something, because apparently well, we always thought that Stalker didn't do anything, but maybe Bloated does something, and we've just never been in the edge case scenario where it actually mattered. But, yeah, no, we're gonna have a backlog of videos, and if the never-ending winter... If it ends during, like, the process of my trip and I can't be the first person to record it, that's fine. It'll be a little bit of a bummer, but ultimately... You know what? I'd just be so happy that the game got updated. I wouldn't really care. I wouldn't really dwell on it, honestly. I'd be so happy to start recording it the moment I could. Although it would be delayed, admittedly, if it was like in the middle of my trip. But anyways, there's gonna be a bunch of other videos too. RimWorld and JRPG, which there's a playlist for if you want to spoil yourself for what JRPG it is. But that's a decision I'll leave to you. Because we've been talking about RimWorld for a while, so that's not at all a surprise. But this JRPG, now this is something that I found on Steam randomly. It looked really cool. It takes 26 hours to beat, so I was like, screw it, I can record that before I have to leave. So far, so good. Got a couple episodes uploaded. Admittedly, though, I'm very concerned because the game has an opening animation. And obviously, since it's just a Let's Play, I recorded the opening animation. And it says it's just a copyright claim, and that it will be monetized by the copyright holder. But because it's scheduled, I can't actually see its status as visibility. Like, it says that everyone can see this video, quote-unquote, but that's not really how YouTube works, right? Like, back when I used to make more, dubious, well, not dubious, that's completely the wrong word, but when I used to make, like, meme compilation videos that had, like, music that may or may not be, I would have a situation where I would schedule a video for uploading, and it would be like, hey, this is fine, it's just got a copyright claim. And then the video would upload, it's like, everybody can see this video. And then the video would upload at its scheduled time, and then it would be blocked in 256 countries, right? Like, it would just be, like, blocked in every country imaginable except, like, 2. You know, so it's like, yeah. Yeah, you love to see that. But, no, like, it's just, it's mildly concerning, because when that video goes live, I literally won't be able to do anything about it. Like, if that video goes live, and then that company decides that, hey, this Let's Player, who's Let's Playing our game, you know, that they saw our opening and played it for their audience. Like, admittedly, I didn't talk during the opening, because, you know, I wanted to show some freaking respect, right? But, you know, I also... I had to make sure that the opening could actually go on YouTube and that I wouldn't have to censor it. Because there's one specific part in the opening that is kind of sketchy. And, you know, it personally doesn't bother me, but it is, like, it's something where I'm thinking, like, okay, that might get taken off of YouTube, and so I need to be careful with that. However, I looked it up, and the full opening is just available on YouTube, so it's like, alright, it's fine. It's completely fine. It has literally, like, a second that's, like, sketchy. And so, you know, I had to make sure that YouTube would be cool with it. I don't want to, like, I don't want to... Like, this isn't really optimal, but the boss does stamina damage, so, like, okay. You know, we'll take damage from Gigolo, but... Yeah, so it's like, there's that one sketchy part of, like, that 1 second, and you're like, it's probably fine, but you need to make sure, and it was fine, because, again, you can find the full opening on YouTube, uncensored completely, and yeah. However, I did find it really funny that, did we get badly bruised again? Yeah, we did. That's a little bit annoying. But, it is like, it's really funny, right? Because you find the opening on YouTube, and, like, there's, like, 4 videos that I watched, right? Because it's a great opening. Like, the music is amazing, the animation is incredible. And it does, like, a really cool thing with, like, skeletons of all things. You'll see what I mean, come the end of the month. But, it does this really cool thing with, like, skeletons and perspective and, like, real people. Like, actual, like, photographs of real people. Along with some absolutely great art style and direction. But, you know, so there's, like, 4 videos on YouTube. There's, like, the Japanese company that uploaded it. Or, like, some promotional company that uploaded it. There's a couple of fan uploads. And then there is the official Sony trailer for the game, which is just the opening, right? Man. Can you take a guess which one is censored? Can you take a guess which one is censored? Yeah, this might surprise you, but the Sony one is censored. And I found it so weird, because, like, the only reason why I would edit it, or, like, you know, censor it for myself is because I don't want Susan Wojcicki to kick down my door with an axe. Like, she scares me. I'm very frightened of her. And so, you know, it's like, do we want to do 25? I feel like it's just better to do this, honestly. Oh wait, we have the Dust of Seeing. What am I doing? Lamau. That was as the kids would say, a misplay. So this will do 18 damage, so that's not good enough. We need to brace again. But yeah, we're good. But yeah, so it's like, I just found it like a little bit. I mean, I don't get why. You know, it's like Sony should probably know the audience of. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's weird, but I'm kind of going off on a different tangent there because I forget what I was talking about. You know, the only reason why I would censor it is because I'm scared of Susan Wojcicki, right? Like, Susan, I fear no man, but she scares me. Yeah, so I don't want to make Susan mad. And so, like, that's the only reason why I would even consider censoring in the first place, is because it's like YouTuber's eyes flash before his life. There was nothing wrong with that sentence, don't worry about it. So, yeah, that's the only reason why I would consider censoring it at all. Right, and so we're gonna fail the dexterity. Okay, so dexterity, charisma, knowledge, -3 stamina, second enemy jar, second enemy mermaids, the second enemy jar, second mystery mermaids, excuse me. So, yeah, I think we'll probably just, like, meme luck, because it doesn't matter anymore. We're gonna take -3 stamina, that's it. But yeah, no, it's like, that's the only reason I would consider like, just either... My original idea was just to put, like, a YouTube frowny face over it. And... yeah, that's the only reason why I would consider censoring it. However, like, if you don't have to censor it, because, like, there are more videos that aren't censored than the single Sony video that is censored, and they censored it in a really dumb way. It's just this awkward jump cut that maybe it's because I saw the original version first, but seeing the regular version first, and then watching the Sony version of it, it's an awkward jump cut. Like, it really is just, like, an awkward jump cut. Like, not that it, like, disrupts the flow of the animation necessarily, because that scene is, like, a jump cut itself. But they did it in such a way that it looks out of place, and you can kind of tell that something was done there. And then you watch the original one, it's like, ah, yeah, there was an extra second there that they cut out. And, you know, like, you can say something about, like, demographics and audiences for, like, the West and whatever, but it's like, you know, when I'm playing a game, I want to, like, obviously, like, for translation and stuff, you can't really get perfect, like, what the authors are intending, because the languages are so different. And so, like, you have to make some creative decision somewhere where it's like, how does this Japanese sentence translate to this English sentence that doesn't sound, like, either broken or weird, right? And so I kind of like how, like, Persona 5 did it with sentences that make absolutely no sense. Like, two characters speaking English, and they're like, wow, you speak great Japanese! That's my personal preference for how to handle something like that. But, you know, obviously you can't get that close, because there are certain problems with, like, trying to... I think the intent of the author and, like, the original meaning is probably the most important thing to carry over, right? And I have no idea how good the English translation is for the game we're playing, and I am playing it on the dub, because there's actually a lot of voice actors that I really like. Like, one of the main characters is Morgana. The main character, like, the voice actress for the main character is Sakura, and Charlotte? I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Sakura and Charlotte from Fire Emblem Fates. So I thought that was, like, I recognized her voice actress, but I'm like, I've heard this voice actress a lot, but where is she from? And then I was looking it up, and it's like, wait, Sakura? And it's like, oh yeah, no, it's absolutely the same person. But, you know, I like a lot of the people involved with the English dub. I think they're good voice actors. But, anyways, so and also another thing is that, like, I know a lot of people use these videos as background noise. I've been told that quite a few times. And so I would like for those people to be able to experience the story as well. Even if they're just listening to it in the background. Like, when something dramatic happens, they don't have to be like, oh, I have no idea what's happening because I don't know Japanese. It's like, oh yeah, no, of course, that's happening, right? And also, I think that an English dub is just kind of better for watchability in general, for what analytics-wise I've seen on my channel, which is not something that I do very often, because I usually am more of a sub person than a dub. But with a game, like, that game has so much dialogue. It really does. And so, you know, I just had to make the decision, right, that it's like, yeah, I should just do the English dub. And I like the voice actresses. I was pleasantly surprised. And they put a lot of, like, the game is very dramatic, and I think so far, they all do a very good job. I haven't seen the entire cast yet, because one of the selling points of the game is there's, like, 6 or 8 characters or something, and each character has their own sort of, like, story mode or storyline or whatever. And if you beat all the storylines, then you get to see something special at the end. Or as I've been told by the game's literal advertisement of play all characters get something special at the end. But no, it's really cool. It's a really cool game. It starts off really slow though, like a lot of JRPGs do. So you're gonna have to excuse that. But anyways, I hope you all had a good time watching or listening to this episode. I hope you all have a good one. I'm gonna go back to leveling up my character in Final Fantasy XIV, and by that I mean I've actually been, like, this has been a project that I've been doing on and off. Like, it's not a serious thing yet, like, it's just a personal thing. But a long time ago, before I nuked the channel, I was working on the old channel, the one that you probably haven't seen. Hi, my name's Webweaver. You might remember me from that one Fire Emblem Heroes video that went semi-viral. Where is the New Year's Korin? Where is the Takusu? You may remember me from that. But, you know, I nuked that channel because I didn't really like it. But the last project that I worked on for that channel was a a Final Fantasy XIV video series. And I did 2 episodes, but I hated both of them. And so I've kind of been going back to it. Not the original, like, scripts and episodes. They were terrible. They were awful. It's my first time trying something like that, and I hated it. And so I've been kind of I've been kind of grooving into my style, if that makes sense, of sort of, like, giving commentary. And so I've been enjoying that, and I think that I'm ready to try it again. And so one of the main reasons why I want to do it is because it gives me an excuse to make epic anime music video about my protagonist character, my Warrior of Light. Sorry, I'm not at Shadowbringers yet, so it's not the Warrior of Darkness yet. It's the Warrior of Light. But, you know, it's like making cool, like, anime, gaming, music compilation video to act as my intro sequence. You know, and I've been doing that, and it's been a lot of fun. Like, I've been trying out some new techniques on After Effects, and I don't know if it's something you're ever going to see the light of day for, but I've been having a lot of fun with it nonetheless. I've gotten, the song that I'm using is, of course, a Toho fan song, because why would it not be? And it actually, like, the lyrics of it are actually, like, pretty damn, like, relevant to sort of the theme of Final Fantasy XIV, at least in my opinion. And so I'm having a friend help me who is fluent in Japanese. I'm helping them help me sort of make baked-in subtitles for the video, because I think that would be cool. Because there's, like, a translation available online that the author asks you to link back to if you end up using it for yourself, which I absolutely will do. But the problem that I have is that I don't know what, like, English words correlate with what, like, Japanese words. And of course it's singing, so, you know, there's a lot of, like, drawn out lyrics, there's a lot of, like, you know, you hold on to a note or whatever. I'm not very technical with music, and so, like, I can't just put cool baked-in subtitles because they would look weird and awkward. They'd be technically correct, but they'd probably be mistimed, or they'd look a little awkward. And so I'm having a friend who's fluent in Japan. Yes, he is fluent in the navigation of the nation of Japan. No, he's fluent in Japanese. He's helping me line up once I'm finished with the opening sequence itself, he'll help me line up the subtitles, which is pretty nice of him, and I really appreciate it. But, you know, if it's something worth showing you, if it's something worth sharing, I'll go ahead and throw it out there. But, anyways, I've rambled on for far too long. I will see you all in the next episode of Worlds of Horror, and, yeah, I guess that's basically just it. I hope you all have a good one, and, yeah, peace out, stay safe out there.